Welcome, winners. I'm kind of not feeling too well today, so I'm in healing mode, which normally brings a lot of reflection. For me at least. Gives you a time to kind of sit down and think about, your life and your goals and what, you're going through and everything. And, I just thought I would come on here. I wrote a few notes for myself and basically try to break down like 3 strategies for overcoming obstacles, setting unbreakable boundaries, and persevering through life and still maintaining your winning provider type of mentality. I guess it could be for men or women. A lot of women are the providers of the household. They are head of household. And, we can get into the nature of things, but, at this point, it just is what it is, So we have to learn how to move through life and, continue to persevere in the face of our adversaries, right? Any kind of devilish tactics that are being thrown against you, it's important to, one, recognize that. Almost like chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself. I know one thing with me, like if somebody's trying to like sneak diss or being like rude or any type of like disrespect, mild, high key, whatever. A lot of times when I'm in those situations, there's so much going on that I caught it. You know what I mean? But I ain't really have a moment to react, So a lot of times when things happen for me, it's not a immediate reaction. I normally go home and allow myself to develop clarity about the situation. And, once I decide that it is what it is, then I have to make my own decisions. So we can only control ourselves. We can't control other people, how they think, what they think, what they do. And if you think that you are, you're kind of just creating a prison for yourself, The adversary comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Kill your dreams, steal your resources, destroy what you built. It comes in destroying your confidence, relationships, clarity. I mean, this is what they do. And it normally, like I said, is slight. Normally, when people try to slight you, they know your triggers. For some reason, they can't help it. Slide that shit in on you, and things like that. But it's recognizing, you know what? That is what they did. You know what? It was unwarranted. I didn't do anything to that person to provoke them. And then, from those tactics, you get things like self-doubt, fear, distractions, and things like that, which really manifest into guilt. So now you stood up for yourself. You recognize boundaries. You're trying to do something about it. And people are saying, well, why are you speaking to me in that manner? This isn't you. What I did wasn't that bad. And it's like, Maybe it wasn't, but the intention behind it is what was fucked up. Those types of things cause you to isolate yourself. Or others or yourself exploiting your past mistakes. To me, those are big things. It's coming through like one begets the other, but to me, it's a whole amalgamation of recognizing when something is trying to exploit a past mistake, when something's trying to isolate you, make you feel guilty, make you doubt, fear, distract, any of those. It's pretty much wartime. Because somebody's trying to take you out. Somebody's allowing the devil to try to use them to inflict some sort of whatever. You know. And we ain't having that shit. Self-doubt can make you hesitate to do things that you know are good for you. You know, you won't go for the big job and the promotion because everybody already thinks you too cute. As if you're supposed to think you're ugly. You know? And we're not here to be friends and be loved by people. Right? Because most people don't like or love themselves. We're here to show up, do our God-given duties, and provide for ourselves and our family. Right? It could happen in certain things I have here, as my mom would say, farting around. You know, just indulging in activities that aren't conducive to your highest good. Right? I mean, I haven't been on here for years. Anybody that knows me knows I started with tarot. I think I might consider maybe not so much doing a tarot reading, but just pulling cards for you guys just to illustrate. Some people need illustration. Some people are audio. You know, some people have to get up and move around and be physical, you know, while they hear it. So, and that's how I use tarot. It's not, oh my God, I have to have a tarot reading to move forward in life. It just helps to create a visual of where you are within a cycle. So that's recognition. And that is one thing that tarot did help me do, is recognizing patterns, recognizing my feelings versus anybody else's within the situation. You know, things like that. Recognize where I may have been at fault, and definitely holding others accountability for when they are at fault. Sorry. I have something here about prep time, because I also think distractions can be doing busy work. You know, doing little menial tasks, you know, because people love to ask you, well, what'd you do today? Especially people that swear they're doing more than, what you do today? You ain't do nothing, you do something today. And so, you know, you might find yourself, I swept the floor. Not that you shouldn't sweep the floor, But it's like regular business things, you're trying to pump them up or something like that and act like it's all of this, and it's just like, that's regular business. You ever had somebody tell you they gotta go take a shower? It's like, I didn't need to know that you stink. Just let me know you'll talk to me later. Those types of things could be adversarial too, because a lot of times people don't care what you're really doing. They're just trying to pick at you and figure out what's going on in your life. Right? So that they can see where they have a hierarchy, somewhere. So if you swept the floors, tomorrow, they swept the floor and cleaned the baseboards, washed the damn thing. They lying. And won't do it again for another year until you tell them something else to top and all of that kind of stuff. But don't allow busy work or farting around with people, that things, places, or opportunities that undermine your highest good. And don't get me wrong, I love a good relax sesh. I am happy, to reset my body and allow myself to heal. Yesterday I tried to get up and, well, I do feel like sunlight helps, so I didn't know what I was dealing with. So I said, well, let me try to walk in the sun, and stuff like that to see if that would help. It did, but I also realized that, girl, you need to get back home, and relax. Heal your body, heal your mind, what they say? Relax, relate, release. Do those things, So, yeah, recognizing patterns is, it's the first step in reclaiming control. Right? Pattern breakers. What they say? Doing the same thing and expecting the same result. And, you can really stop a lot of shit just by recognizing the patterns and getting in front of it. It leads us into boundaries. For me, once you realize and have recognized what's going on and now you want to, address it, this is the time to set your boundaries. I didn't appreciate the way you did X, Y, and Z. I would prefer, if from here on out, when you're dealing with me, you could speak to me instead of asking my neighbor, whatever it is. And usually by a person's response to you setting boundaries is how you know exactly where you fit in that person's life. I had to call somebody out just recently, and on any given day, this person loves and respects me, so much, but some bullshit flew out of their mouth. And when I warned them to never play with me like that again, their response was to try and dismiss me. If someone's dismissive of your feelings, someone, downplays them, wanting to call you delusional because of the way that you're reacting to the bullshit that they're throwing out, then that's exactly who you're dealing with and where you fit in their life. And for me, if I didn't do anything to warrant anything, or you never mentioned it, or I wasn't aware, and then you come in disrespect or what have you, I say, hey, that wasn't cool, and you disrespect again, I'll whip your ass. I ain't scared of fighting. Oh, Betty, don't whip ass. Yeah, whatever. I firmly believe that we need to normalize smacking the shit out of people who are misbehaving in the real world. I do not digress. But for those of you who would just prefer nonviolence, I mean, herein is when you remove yourself from this person's life. This is when you limit their access to you. This is when you have to practice tactics like gray rocking or stonewalling people, you know what I mean? And trying not to give them anything, nothing at all, nothing to roll with, nothing to rock with, nothing to throw in the fire. Remembering that we are here to provide for ourselves and our families and be leaders in our own right. That's it. And anyone who can't understand that, I feel like Q and Future, if you can't understand me, then you're too soft. And I'm not going to fault you for that, but I can't talk to you. We can't relate. We can't reason. Right? If you don't want to, or you don't have the capacity to understand how to interact with adults or people, period, in the world. It's not our place to teach people the lessons that their mamas and their daddies did not. So sorry. They need to go to their own therapy. And like I said, people like that act like that, or want to disrespect you, your home, your boundaries, people get in your car with mud all on their shoes, smoke a cigarette when you never lit a cigarette in your life. Oh, this is disrespect. And is normally indicative of people who don't have shit anyway. And if they do, I can hear people, I got this and I got that, and, this person hated on me and they had so much more than me. Yeah, their gratitude is in the toilet. Close the lid, flush it, Lysol the handle in the seat. Because their gratitude is in the toilet, and they're not happy with anything that they have anyway. You can have everything in the world. If you don't have peace of mind, happiness, gratitude, someone to give you a hug. Shouts out to the people who don't have nobody to give them a hug, but they're still good people. I'll hug you. But you feel what I'm saying? Like, there's more to life than material things. For sure. And when things like this come around, you have to affirm yourself, esteem yourself, love on yourself, self-care. It's hard not to deal with people that you thought were gonna be in your life forever, or you thought really loved you, or you invested so much into, and yeah, it's hard, but it's doable. And for people who don't have any respect or boundaries, will continue to take, continue to kill, steal, destroy. It's necessary. One of my biggest pet peeves is someone telling me how they're putting so much effort into doing something, and in the same breath saying they don't really want to do it. I cannot compute. I gotta go do this, and I gotta go and run and do that, and I gotta go. You ain't got to do shit. You don't have to do anything. If you are okay going to your job and coming home and, sitting on the couch, then be honest about that. If you feel like that's enough for you to get through in life, then be honest about that. But don't say you're a marathon runner and a master fucking dancer, and cleanliness is next to godliness, and then be mad that somebody wants you to take them out. and wash the dishes behind yourself. So once you realize that this person's a liar and the truth ain't in them, you need to run. You need to run. It's also important to journal your wins. This goes into people maybe trying to bring up something of your past or something like that. A lot of times it's good to just journal the things that are going well in your life. At the end of 2024, maybe like for the last few months, like from November, maybe even October, I just had this running list, and I would just add, the things that I was grateful for. And to read that every day and to just realize that and embody that, it made going into my 2025 so much better. Because normally I'm like, New Year's is some pagan shit. It's too cold, just don't normally shake out for me till the spring. It's the natural order of things anyway, and stuff like that. But this year, by having that journal of gratitude, it enabled me to develop the mindset first of a winner, of a grateful person, somebody who has more than enough, somebody who has time and time again through all adversity shows that things always work out in my favor. Hashay. You feel me? From there, I think it's important to vet people closely. Anybody who just wants to be friends with everybody, is all Joe Schmo and all that, they're dangerous to me. Because everybody's so fucking fake. Fucking fake nowadays. You're gonna say I'm fucking fake because I'm sitting here telling you I'm sick and how to be a winner. How she know how to be a winner if she fucking sick? Shut your fake ass up. Everybody needs a fucking minute. You lucky I got sick today so I could take a minute to dispel some information. To the rest of my winners, you losers need to take a fucking clue. Take some notes. Have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up. I do not digress. So, build an accountability network, but vet people closely. Any little red flags and stuff like that, it is 2025. We are not moving through red flags, people. Red flags are character traits that you just do not jack with. It is okay. We often view these things as setbacks. Well, if I get rid of this person, then everybody's going to think I can't keep a person. If I, deal with this in some certain way, people will blah, 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 insert the blanks. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Because we need lessons. We need to go through things. If you believe in a higher power, you already know that it's set up for your good, for your benefit. So stop being afraid to go through it. Stop being afraid to set your boundaries and find out if this person, hates you. Would want to clobber you for setting up a boundary. I was watching these memes. It's not a meme, I guess shorts or whatever. And the guy and the girl said, to some YNs, some young guys, if your girl said no to, can your girl refuse sex? And they like, hell no. She's like, wait, what do you mean she can't refuse sex? What are you going to do if she says no? He said, I'm going to go out and cheat on her. Imagine giving your all to a person that the first time you are unable and muster enough courage to say no, they run out and cheat on you. Fucking make them take all the rest of their shit when they leave and kick it out on the fucking curb and lose dead weight. Heal the punani. Don't let these niggas run them up. Don't let nobody run them up in your life. For real. Everything works as a stepping stone for good. Everything. Number 3, talk is cheap. Implementation and follow through is everything. Everything. I had someone telling me for so long, mind you, hey, your life is your life. If you like it, I love it. You know, I'm never trying to make anybody be anything else. But if you say, look, I have these goals, X, Y, and Z, you know, I want to do that, I'm like, cool. Now, if I turn around 8 years later and you haven't done nothing to those goals, you're still complaining about the same fucking patterns that you had, you know, and why the new year is hard. You done had 50 fucking years to learn how to prepare for a new year. I'm deuces. Y'all can stay with that stuff if you want to. But people show you who they are. That is one of the best lessons my daddy taught me. When people show you who they are, believe it. And if you have to implement pulling up your skirt, throwing your bag over your arms, throwing your hair in a bun and running from it, better not run up on me. If you do, then I'm gonna trip out. If you got to run, run. Run. What's the alternative? Letting somebody else run your life? It's already what it is, right? It is what it is. And if you like it, I love it. So that's all part of recognition. That's all part of setting your boundaries. Hey, you know, you got a boyfriend or you got a this or your job. I don't think you should be doing this with your life and this, that, and the other. That's part of your boundaries. If you like it and you love it, your boundaries is, this is my decision, point blank, that's it. Right? And it just goes in so many different ways. Yep, so we're on to our third strategy, is implementing a strategy, which means your daily habits. You know, for me, I like to wake up in the morning, do my face care. I like to do my natural products and things like that, and normally take some sort of walk. I love getting my steps in, and I value finding moments to get my steps in. You know, and I guess this is just something that I've observed. I live in an area where it's really cool to use people. You know, if someone sees you walking, it's like, ooh, they must be doing bad, you know. But for me, when I'm getting my steps in, I'm doing great. I'm a city girl. Not a city girl, but I love urban style living. I love being able to walk to the train, head to, you know, a store, do shopping in my local area. I love to do that. I call that multitasking. Why not get my steps in, get my groceries, you know, pick up, you know, a little product for myself all in one. I'm killing all kinds of birds, you know, and then they wonder why I'm happy. It's like winning, spinning, you know, I'm running my race. I'm doing my routines, healthy habits, things like that. And I think it's also important to recognize, back to recognition, that a lot of times when you're trying to implement those things into your life, check out who's running against it. Check out who's talking shit about you having to take out some me time. Check out who's calling you every 5 minutes with a life or death, dire emergency, when they know that this is your day to not deal with nobody. You know what I mean? Look at those things. Recognize those patterns. Active communication, active assertive communication. You know, a lot of times, like if I know somebody's coming at me, I might go and get a word track. Give me 10 lists of things to say. So you know I'm not lying. But, excuse me. But you know, what are some good things to say to somebody who is always in your business? I saw Whitney Houston with Oprah Winfrey. It had a clip. And she says, all right, we're not going to get in your business. We're going to tell you, you only can tell, you know, you could tell us only what you want us to know. And Whitney, hair flip, pause, giving herself a minute to not smack this bitch, because she probably already told her before they got there, in the dressing room, and all kinds of stuff. Don't ask me about my personal business. But Oprah's got a job to do, right? Just like haters have a job to do. You know, the devil sends demons with a job to do. You know what I'm saying? So, not just because you're a good person and you set your boundary, right? Does that mean that people are going to willingly follow? So she does the hair flip. It goes, my business is my business, and we only here to talk about the bodyguard. Don't you know this chick asks her again? She asked her a second time, what's up with Bobby? Bobby's good. We're good. Back to the bodyguard. And to me, that was some boss ass shit. It made a boss ass person, i.e. Oprah, just look like a whole fucking slouch, you know, and cringe. But, you know, from her point of view, the people wanted to know. From Whitney's point of view, she had already set an agenda while she was there. And it was to promote what she was to promote. She was providing and winning. And how dare anybody ask her about her husband? And they still did. Yeah. So, embrace your role. You know? Embrace your role. Embrace what you're here to do. Lead with integrity. It's the best that you can do for yourself. And that's going to ensure that you're always a winner. Let me know what you think. Add your thoughts or whatever in the comments below. You already know what to do. Me not beg no follower, but if you come here and getting information from the gal, you already know you ought to pay back. Because if you're not paying back where you're sowing in, it's going to get destroyed anyway. And that ain't from me. That's from how God says. You can't reap and not sow. Alright? So I love you guys. Peace.